kind of got worried there for a second as something about work. We were supposed to get reporting done today, and we never did. So
I am accidentally streaming the wrong screen. 1 second.
let's go.
Yeah, classic stuff. There we go. Howdy, y'all. Jackson here at the Trick Studios, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Hash. I'm only joined by one of our co-hosts again, because we constantly are swapping out you two.
Yep. One day we'll get back on track. But luckily it's a downtime, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
So
I will only not be here if I'm dead.
based in W. Okay.
Alright, you ready to kick it off with some Canadian football?
Yeah, and first things first, tech sucks. Just had to throw that in there. So
Yeah.
What the heck? There we go. So I only had one game, and even then
you didn't even really win it.
I didn't win, so kind of funny.
Played so garbage that we tied.
Managed to tie Montreal, so 19-19 was the final score. So quite surprising considering the downward spiral Calgary has gone. It started the year off close to 500 and just kind of spiraled.
We clinched the playoffs 2 weeks ago, so we've been on a.
Jeez. I guess yeah, that's also fair. You've just been coasting.
Our two best wide receivers are hurt.
So that definitely plays a big part in this, as to why this game tied rather than you outright destroying Calgary. So that is important to know for context. But regardless, it was a tie. So, and Calgary managed to blow a 10-0 lead. Mini Falcons gonna Falcon moment. I will bring that back soon. Once I'm
when you have time.
At a good stopping point with work. But regardless, ran the ball well. At least Diedrich did with 122 rushing yards. Jake Mayer wasn't terrible through the air either. He was pretty efficient. Didn't turn the ball over. Not a high average, I guess. But then Mark and Michael led the team in receiving yards and had a touchdown. And then on the defensive side, had a couple fumble recoveries. Not sure if that's good or bad, but did force a fumble. Got a couple tackles losses from Benjamin Labrosi. I don't know. I apologize. Good to know our kicker fumbled the bag. Thanks a lot, Renee. 4 for 6. I mean, yeah, you hit 4, but you still blew it. You blew it.
Yeah,
but
I want to know the distances of his misses before.
I would love to know that. I mean, might be able to.
Yeah, you'd have to go way through it, though, I think.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to stay on top of that next week. But
maybe he missed one in overtime. That'd be funny.
That'd be really funny. I don't think he did though. That'd be seemingly very unlikely. Unless if they both scored in overtime, I don't think. Maybe I don't know Canadian football rules all that well, but it doesn't seem like that'd be possible. But we were winning the time possession battle by quite a large margin there on either side through interceptions, but there were a few fumbles. Montreal was more efficient through kicking and punting, I suppose, given that they had Falcons gonna Falcon punt totals there. And then the offense pretty close overall in yardage total here. So Calgary did have a few more yards and a couple more first downs and even a couple more sacks. So it seemed like they outplayed Montreal in theory, but even with Montreal missing multiple players, they still managed to pull out a tie. So Calgary is, in fact, what we would say cooked, chat. So, and then my other two teams didn't play.
Playoff contention because that side is not good.
Right.
I think everybody's in playoff contention because they're just only like teams with it.
They're so bad. It's so bad, and I love it.
All right. So I have one game because Kyle has the other. So Oh, I'm not streaming yet. Let me pull up my stream so you can at least see the video.
Wait.
Alrighty.
Oh, now my Discord is just fine. That's
So we have
interesting.
Toronto versus BC, the rematch of last week. So we start off with a bunch of field goals between everybody, and here BC would get the first touchdown of the game on a Nathan Rourke scramble, and then Chad Kelly would find a man on a scramble there to expand their lead, and here he would scramble in one for one of his own to give Toronto a pretty big lead. Here Rourke would find a man over the middle who would just basically muzzle his man way into the end zone for a touchdown. Would it be way too late for to make any difference? So Toronto won 33-17. So
Okay. Yeah, and the saddest outlier in all of sports, that's for sure.
yeah. So yeah, Chad Kelly led the game in rushing yards and passing yards, and Polk had the receiving lead. In Kyle's game, the Hamilton Tiger Cats somehow won a football game. They beat the Red Blacks
Against
37.
Ottawa, no less.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So it was a bad week for our pickup. But yeah, essentially there's Toronto, then all the teams in the middle, and then Calgary and Hamilton at the bottom.
I
There's
cannot
three
believe
tiers, yeah.
Calgary. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just been a wild year in the West.
Yeah.
It's not made a lot of sense. I like that there are two teams with a SRS of 0, and then another one with 0.6.
Yeah, well, I think he
Is
ran
this-
down because I think it's like 0.4
okay.
or something like that.
Well, okay, it's still
0.48,
something
but-
ridiculously
Oh,
low.
0.0171 for Saskatchewan.
Woo! That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, so pick, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
Toronto.
I just fought so hard to get back to 500.
Yeah, at least you dragged Kyle down with you, though. You grabbed his ankle on your way down.
Yeah, that's true. I did claw my way back to second at least. All right. Yeah, Toronto for sure. Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I'll probably go Saskatchewan there. I'm gonna go, hopefully Montreal can bounce all the way back now.
Yeah, I guess I'll go Montreal. Something tells me. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going Elkimo.
Oh.
I'm going Winnipeg. They're basically the same.
Screw
Yeah,
it.
they're at
I'm
12.
going Edmonton for memes. Winnipeg's probably the smarter pick, but
I'll let you be able to pick up the game if you want. So, Bolivia Mitchell still your passing leader. William Sandback is your rushing leader, and Justin McKinnon is the receiving leader. And a pretty basic bracket so far. No crossover.
sweet.
So we are getting, if Hamilton turns it around and the rest of the bottom of the West stays the same, we have the chance of a crossover. Because Hamilton 4-9, I guess they've like 2.5 game
Mhm.
edge, but that's make upable with still like.
I just realized Edmonton has the most points out of any team.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
She need better defense.
Defense is so bad. But yeah, that's the difference signing somebody like Bethel Thompson does for you, though.
Yeah, getting a competent quarterback is very advantageous.
For sure.
See the X League, where the import quarterbacks are by far the most important thing, basically, to have.
Sure.
All right, ELF is on a bye week before the championship, so nothing of note.
I'm so sad. Paris did a good job.
Heck of a season 2, right?
Yeah, they improved. They were 500 last year, and they only lost two games this year, and all three of their losses, including playoffs, were the teams that were better than them. So they had a great year. My other teams might not survive, but Paris had a great
Milan
year
needs to go back to the Italian league,
for sure.
and Barcelona should
The
just go down.
Dragons just gotta fold.
'Cause
They're so
Madrid's also Spain, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah, so Madrid should be one Spanish team at this point.
yeah.
It looks
Honestly,
because the teams are all nationally mostly filled with teams from their country, so I guess there's just not enough football players in Spain, or all of the good ones went to Madrid.
clearly, hogs.
And then there's so many good football players in Germany that they can have like 8 teams.
Base Germany, I guess. I don't know what they're doing out there, but love to see it, I guess.
Well, yeah, because like all the good teams are German, and then the Austrian team, which is basically Germany.
German, Austrian, and then one team in Paris. Love it. Okay.
All right.
Well,
now,
I'll
and on to the X
Oh.
League.
okay.
With translator this time.
Yep. So we're gonna start with my new team, and to say the least, I might have made the right decision.
Yep.
Because they broke the scoreboard apparently. This translator is a little weird. I might want to get a different translate. I don't know. It's kind of goofy, but the Seagulls beat the Lions 84-0. The game was kind of close, but yeah, and it's looking like all the scoring here, the scoring breakdown. So started off the game with a passing touchdown to want to be Jamal Kick. I don't think Kick is part of his name. I'm still getting used to this. I don't know. Maybe this translator is still not optimal, but Kick is the.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if it's broken on my browser.
Because some of these aren't weird. Because Holden Hoff, touching pass down.
Well, that was probably an English start because Holden Hoff.
Pass it. Yes, right. Yeah, and Jason Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be Yuki Sakuma. Okay, so I'll just ignore the kick part. That's a little weird,
That's
but
the kicker. He got your 1 point here conversion. He did PAT.
yeah. Oh, I got you now. I got it now. Okay. So, but regardless, I mean, consistently scoring scoring 2 to 3 touchdowns a quarter, pretty consistently, and really fast, no less. So 2 touchdowns within about 2 minutes there. Another 6 minutes, they scored another one. Start off the half, they had 3. They got all three of their 4 scores within the first
5 minutes.
Pretty much immediately of the second half with a kickoff return and then that's kind of wild. 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes. So so they definitely Mitsubishi might need to fold their poverty franchise for sure, considering we had 2 quarterbacks throw for over 170 yards. Splitting the work there. Both had a 50-yard touchdown pass. So the teams spread the wealth in terms of receiving touchdowns, which is kind of funny. So 5 receiving touchdowns. All each guy had 1, or not each guy, but nobody had multiple. Takaya led the way with receiving yards, with 133 receiving yards for us, and then Satoru Takahashi got the pick 6. So had 1 punt. So I think we have to fold our franchise. Considering it was not a good punt either, but let's talk about the 8 punts for 333 yards. Shintaro over here was a very, very busy man. And then Powerful had an interception, I guess. So that's kind of a sick name. And then only one sack. So, but kind of the breakdown of the stats here. So had way more rushing yards, obviously. Way more passing yards. Just we forced 4 interceptions, including a pick 6, as aforementioned. So, yeah, this is a slaughter, and that's putting it very nicely.
I didn't
so,
get that from the score.
You never. Well, it's just okay. That's funny. I made an obvious statement moment. It's because I was watching Deadliest Warrior. This guy making fun of Deadliest Warrior, and I never realized growing up the doctor's so useless. Because bro would be like, "Yeah, this guy's head got blown off."
I think those videos
so
have shown up in my recommendation too, because I've watched a couple.
Yeah, and I was crying. I was like, "Wow, I can't believe I used to like this," because they're stating this doctor's so useless.
Well, because the last 5 minutes of that show always makes it.
True. Except for the fact that sorry, I don't mean to get sidetracked, but the one with Al Capone was so rigged. That was so stupid.
I do hate
Jesse,
that one.
Jesse James would never have beaten Al Capone. Al Capone has cars, bro, and grenades. What are you talking about? Anyway,
for Jesse
so that's
James,
why I made it.
We have competitive shooters for their competition, and for Al Capone, we have this guy who says he's connected to the mob.
Oh man, that one made me so mad. But anyway, so long story short, Seagulls dominated this game, 84-0. So we love to see it, chat. Next, I'll go to the Gas Creators, who can't get a good read on these guys, but they did win 12-7. So their first win of the year. IBM did start off the game with a kickoff return for a touchdown, and that was it.
Rough.
So they got a kick return for a touchdown, then dipped. So that's really funny. And both teams only had 1 touchdown. The difference is Tokyo had a field goal and a safety for memes. So
my God, they hit for the cycle.
They did it for the cycle. Actually, they didn't have the 1 point. Actually, I don't even know if they do the 1 point safety in this league. Probably not. But yeah, I guess that is the equivalent of hitting a safety for the cycle. So that's really funny. So we love to see it there. So in terms of running the ball, I'm not even gonna bother. I know how to pronounce it, just in the moment my brain's just not comprehending. So
Gerard Evans.
Hoshino had 45 rushing yards on 11 carries, so he was pretty efficient. But Gerard Evans had the rushing touchdown, along with 122 passing yards on 14 for 20. He was pretty efficient for the most part. Don't know if we'll see in a minute if he had any interceptions, though. I had to suspect he probably has 1 or 2, considering the low score. Leading receiver for us was Hiroki Osaka. He had 40 yards on 4 catches. So no big plays in this game. Not a single receiver had one go over 20. There was a 20-yard rushing play. That was the longest play in the game. So yeah. So I guess we did throw 1 interception, but that was the only interception of the game, and it wasn't even returned. So longest punts was 57 for Kanta Takahashi. So W. Love to see it. Did not get a punt return there. And so going down to the team stats, relatively balanced here. Not an offensive performance by any means, but at the end of the day, Tokyo was able to squeak it out, and technically they got a shutout. The defense itself technically got a shutout. So it was the special teams that allowed the touchdown. So say what you want there, but so we'd love to see it. Easy dub. Obviously, Tokyo is clearly the powerhouse of this league. And last but not least,
I just want to say it was an embarrassing performance by a team that's owned or ran by an American company, playing an American sport. Disgusting.
based, and you're not wrong. But at the end of the day, we got that dog in us, named after Kobe. So
Kevin Kraft needs to make his entire team commit seppuku, and it is disappointing.
babe, I didn't think Kobe was that bad, but you're probably not wrong. So they did. They didn't even have the lead at any point. That's really funny. The Suns didn't. I was saying the Suns didn't. Yeah.
Shout out to David Pendle.
So, darn right. We love to see it, chat. So he was
his card. Let me grab it.
Yeah, I'll have to. Okay, I'll hold off while you look for that.
All right, let me pull up the thing. I have my David Pendle autograph card.
I'm looking at your screen here.
Put this down so I can pull up my one. It's not. So there he is, David Pendle.
That's incredible. That is incredible. We love to see it. So shout out to David Pendle and Jackson's card of him. So we love to see it. He had 3 touchdowns, only 5 incompletions, 192 yards. So he had a pretty good day. Again, spread the wealth between numerous receivers. Receiver of the game was Maloney Mataeli, even though he had 1 less yard and 3 less receptions than my boy Ushida. He had 69 yards, so nice. Although I guess
that's where Oakland should stop their scoring.
Ito, my brain is just normally don't struggle with names as bad. They're not even that hard to say. My brain is just not computing tonight.
You should just read it from the kanji.
That gosh, that I would struggle a tiny bit. So we made a field goal. So I guess W, and a couple sacks for us. Shout out to Damian Williams for having a really easy name for getting that sack. A couple interceptions. So in terms of team stats, outran the Suns and it didn't really outgain them heavily, but it was enough that it was pretty, probably about 30 or 40 extra yards. So, wouldn't say dominated, but yeah, I'd say dominated. So get dunked on. Love to see it. So did throw 1 interception, but 20 return yards for interceptions, I guess. So neato. Only 2 punts for 100 yards. So our punter was kicking the ball pretty well for being in the X League. So no safeties, unfortunately. So not hitting for the cycle here. And so it was a good week for my teams. Overall, we'd love to see it. And
you went 3-0, didn't you?
Yeah, hopefully Kobe can figure it out. Maybe have a winning streak.
All right, and pull up my game. So I have video for 2, and then the last one I did have the scoreboard because they didn't upload the video when I was downloading the video, so it only went up like 45 minutes, an hour ago, the highlights. So I don't have them. So we'll kick things off with the Rise versus the American Football Club. So Kurt here would find a man over the middle to take the early lead. He then find a man in the corner. Go up 14-3. They would then go up 21-3 with his rushing touchdown. Minerva would then finally get a touchdown of their own on kind of a fluke play. A ball swatted down, but it just fell into a guy's hand. But the Rise won 31-11. Then we had Panasonic versus the Challengers. So here, to be kind of a really pretty pass there for the Suiki, the Kisui. Yeah.
Oh, good grief!
And then a punt block here, and then he takes the most indirect route to the end zone imaginable. Does that count as the kick return touchdown of the week?
I'm counting that because of how bad the tackling was.
Yeah. And then here's another. There were a lot of good corner passes.
That was a really good throw. What is
This one
happening?
is like perfect.
That's
too.
also nasty.
Yeah. And then they shank the extra point and they lose the game by 1. So, shout out to the guy who caught that touchdown, Boogie Knight.
Oh, that's where it's coming from. Not that I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, my last game was the Silver Stars versus the Frontiers. This is also just another shellacking. Not as bad as your guys', but it wasn't a close game.
It's a more reasonable blowout.
Yeah.
If you're losing by 80, you need to just not be on the level of this league. At least this is like,
Well, the good thing is that
it's
regulation.
really
and
bad. But
relegation and
yeah,
stuff,
true.
so,
True.
It makes up for it.
That's true.
Trayshawn Nixon, really, really good. Former MVP. 8 rushes for 166 yards.
Those are okay numbers.
Yeah. Their passing numbers also off the charts amongst all their quarterbacks they played.
Goodness sakes. Ran for like freaking. Oh my gosh. Did you guys run for 50 plus? Essentially 4.
Yeah. And then Samaji Grant, 3 catches for 2 touchdowns. Utilizing their imports.
Mm.
So yeah, they not really a close game. They're with a shellacking. So Fujitsu had 2 picks, and Oriental Bio had none. Yeah, so not particularly close game. So anyway, none of Kyle's teams won, so no stats to report there.
Brutal.
Yeah, so we both went 3-0. And then IBM failed us in our pick'em.
Well, I'm going to start with Gas Creators.
Yeah, I don't think I don't
gotta-
think Avicii is getting good.
No.
Who
The
is
Silver
it?
Star also really bad, but AFC's, former team, Ohio State Imposters. I'll rock with the Silver Star.
Yeah, I don't think either one are particularly good. But the Silver Stars have been in the league for longer. I think this is Minerva's first.
They've been in longer, and they're not Ohio State Imposters.
Yeah. Fujitsu's gonna win. All right.
Okay, I'll go with the front. I'll go with the Frontiers, and I'll rock with my Seagulls.
Yeah, I think Obix the.
It's a fair bet after winning by 84.
I think this one could go either way, but I'm gonna go Panasonic.
Leaning towards Panasonic. It probably makes sense.
Like the Kobe's won, they won pretty big, but the Suns aren't good. And
Yeah.
And the Panasonic just won, but I don't really know how good the challengers are.
I don't think the Challengers are very good. Yeah, I know it's screw. I'll go with my team. Why not? Let's give it a shot.
And I'll in the Capital Bowl.
I'll stick with the Challengers here.
Because we have got some teams that like having words capitalized.
Love it.
It's like GWS versus the Suns. And, whoa! I just realized 2 teams have capitalized Suns because the Australian team of Suns is also all caps. Yeah, so everyone at 5-1. Oh, I guess they didn't carry it over. I think I'm 10-10, because you were. I was 4. Because he had 2 losses, and then.
I think I only had 1. I don't remember.
And I went undefeated. Yeah. I remember. Oh, it's just not pulling. I did save it over there. I just don't have it pulling from the right.
Yeah.
Well, it should be pulling from this one. Anyway, so you're 9-2 and Kyle 8.
9-2. Okay.
Okay. Tsubasa Tagagi is the passing leader right now. Tyler Kolka, and then Kurt Palandich. And then Trayshawn Nixon, Donato Nishimura, and then Sho Yashidawa. And are your rushing leaders, and then Taketo Ito, Takaya, Yamanaka, and Tei Cunningham. The big through one right now, I don't really know how accurate my polling from feeds, because we're, only 2 weeks in. I'm not sure what the tiebreakers are. But I have it Obik 1, Fujitsu 2, Panasonic 3, and then Rai Feeney and Creators as your wife of the cards.
Makes sense.
So, on to the college football. Everybody had a good week, and then my meme picking of Central Michigan didn't work out,
I mean, it wasn't a horrible pick, to be fair.
Well, it wasn't Eastern,
It wasn't, but they were down 7.5.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be down 7.5.
Well, it wasn't South Florida within 3 to Alabama
Against Bama, yeah.
before Alabama scored
you're not wrong. But yeah, that's true. And we're not Florida State this year. So
yeah.
Okay, but let's go over to this is where
I think it's gotta go.
I think Kyle's right. It sucks, but I can't be a homer here. I think Idaho's gonna beat us pretty bad.
Just like I am with Kyle, I'll be the homer then, okay? So you're going number 4. And I will be the homer.
I respect it.
Just like I'll be the homer here. No, not 22. I want 24. Illinois. And what say you, Nate?
I once again have to not homer Illinois. I gotta go Nebraska. Hang on. Let me think about this actually.
Now, excuse me, will I go home?
Can I see the standings so far for college?
Well, they're both 3-0.
No, not those. I meant for our pick'em.
Oh yeah. You
Let me
have
see,
2-game lead.
I got 2 on Kyle. Screw it, we ball.
You go to Illinois?
I'll go Illinois. Why not? I don't think it's smart.
It'll be even funnier if Illinois wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go USC.
What, are you telling me that our quarterback that sucks is going to not suck this game? No, he's going to continue to suck, but...
He's gonna continue to suck. Sorry. Okay, so we're covering ASU's former conference, their first Division I conference they were in before they moved over to the WAC, which eventually became the UAC. So that's where I decided to pick this conference, even though realizing it, technically I wasn't last. But I'd not had the opportunity to get to pick a conference yet. So
I came in last. I came in last week. So
yeah, also true.
I can't pick twice in a row.
So we're gonna go UTSA against Houston Christian. I think that's a smart pick here. I think Nichols should win that.
It's almost like having votes, even despite the fact they're 0-3, is kind of wild. But
it's kind of
based. There's a team in the top 25 that's 0-3, because Chattanooga's 23 and they're 0-3.
Well, they probably just play 3 FBS schools. Then I'm guessing
2 FBS schools, and they lost to the team that's number 14 now. So
yeah, that makes sense. South Dakota State got it. I think that again, so far Kyle's got it kind of nailed. This one gets a little tricky because Incarnate Word is actually pretty good. I think ultimately I'm probably going to agree with him considering how well Northern Arizona played against Arizona. But Incarnate Word is not a team to sleep on for sure. Well, so I'll go with you guys.
Do they have a because the last couple of years they've been good because they've had transfers.
They've had transfers,
'Cause was it-
and they're probably not as good as they were like
is
2
that
years
where Malik
ago.
Willis was?
But
Or because it was Lindsey Scott Jr.
Mm-mm.
the last 2 years.
I don't remember who they had, but he was stupid good. Turned their
Malik Willis was at
program around
Liberty,
really fast.
right? He was at
Yeah,
Liberty.
he was at Liberty.
I'm
But
getting my
they've
decent
Hmm.
Christian football schools mixed up.
it's understandable.
Lindsey Scott was the one who was at Incarnate Ward the last 2 years.
Lamar is ranked. That's interesting. They're usually not very good. But Texas Southern's usually awful. So I'm going to go Lamar.
Picking against the Hibuku, are you racist or something?
Darn right. A&M Commerce is garbage, so I'm going Sacramento State.
You know, I'll take my main pick here because Texas A&M Commerce is coached by Clint Dozell,
Base.
former Arena Football League coach, who was also the Frisco Fighters coach for a year.
I love it. Next pick, Northwestern State, for context, just lost to Houston Christian by 65 points. Let me pull up the score really
They're
quick.
not nearly as good when they don't have Philip Rivers' brother, Steven Rivers, who played there.
At Northwest,
In Northwestern State, yeah.
that's interesting because Northwestern State's usually really bad. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Who's LSU? That doesn't make sense. Louisiana Christian. That doesn't seem right. Who did? Okay, hang on. Northwestern State football. Oh, they lost to South Alabama 87-10. But that's not fair. I thought they just got blown out by Houston Christian for some reason. Regardless, they're garbage. So they're going Weber State.
Yeah, I'll actually go them.
I'm going to continue to glaze the Southland. I'll go McNeese.
You know, they're getting votes. Sure, why not? Also,
Stephen
Hibuku.
Stephen F. Austin's usually better than ASU in literally everything, and it makes me hate every bone in my body. So Stephen F. Austin's definitely winning this. In fact, actually no, ASU's ranked above Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, because you guys had a bad game, but you still went up.
Somehow, I don't know how we went up. To be honest, that's kind of mind blowing because we played piss poorly. But nonetheless, there's a Southland Conference, baby. Love to see it.
Alright. So, yeah. Now we are on to the Australian Football League for the quarterfinal games, which I can pull up here. These are actually good competitive games. So, here, GWS is getting the first goal of the game, but Brisbane would get a score of their own not long after. It would stay. GWS would pull away for a bit, but then Brisbane would start a comeback there. They're making it 61 to 80, and then here they are making it 80 to 98. And then here they are crossing the 90 mark to get to 92. And here they are taking the lead with 2.5 minutes left to
Sage.
105 to 100. So that was 2 massive claps by GWS because they choked jobbed against Sydney too. So here it is. Port Adelaide would get off to an early lead, but then Hawthorn would bring things back. Here they are, in fact, actually taking the lead early in the fourth, but Port Adelaide would reclaim the lead, and here they are making a 2-score lead. But then Port Adelaide would, Hawthorn would make it close, and Hawthorn would have a chance to win it here, but he hit the post for just a behind.
Oh.
So they lost 72-75. So if they hit that, they would have won.
I was a post away from memeing my way to having the Hawks in the semis.
Yep. That damn
No,
post got in the way.
no, that would have been an incredible pick, but that's okay.
Yeah. So
I still think I have a good part of my bracket intact. So
yeah, the GWS collapsed again, embarrassingly.
life is pain as a GWS fan. I'm taking my talents to St. Kilda where they know how to run a franchise.
It's just because they're even slightly linked to Daniel Jones by just playing at the same team that had the same name as them, you know? They just
Yeah,
make
exactly.
Daniel Jones stink. And then Port Adelaide survived the collapse. So you got Port Adelaide in the semi one, and then Geelong, Brisbane in the other one. So I have a perfect bracket right now, and my perfect bracket relies on both of my teams losing next week. Which I feel pretty confident about Sydney losing. I feel like Geelong is actually after they spoke for Adelaide. I feel like they're kind of competent right now. Sydney I have no faith in because they needed a miraculous comeback to even win their first game. So you know, Kyle's bracket sucks, but Geelong's not red because technically they're still alive. They're just in the wrong spot, so that's why they're just crossed out but not red.
Yeah.
And then you were very close to having
a bracket of man,
so one of us would have had a perfect bracket.
That sucks. It sucks. Oh well. Yeah, so. That would have been an awesome pick.
Yeah.
It's okay, Hawthorne.
Yeah. But good games regardless, you know, close games.
They were good games.
After making fun of the very first game of the Port Adelaide Geelong, they were all kind of close after that, you know, for the most part.
Yeah. Within reason, yeah.
Some sort of news. You had the Arena Football League. They're the Arena Football One now with new news. They've announced a couple teams, though I'm not 100% sure if they'll actually make it 2 seasons with those teams because one of the teams was using AI generated logo, so I have no faith in that team at all. if a death blow to anything, it's just being an AI logo.
It's unbelievable. They should at least have the courtesy to use the Illini AI generated photo we have.
Yeah. You know, hopefully, I just hope that they use AI to come up with the roster as well, and the coaching staff.
That would be crazy. The AI only challenge.
And then whatever play John Madden tells you, ask Madden. He'll ring up. They need a Ouija board on the sideline to ask Madden.
Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
So yeah,
that would be insane.
Not really any other news I can think of. I think the NAL announced Beaumont, but that was pretty much expected.
I didn't have anything, so.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for the week. It was a nice short episode. It wasn't as short as last week, but so we're still Monday next week, right? Because we got 2 more weeks of September, right? Yep.
Well, it's here forward. I'll be doing Mondays from.
Okay. Just in general.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Good thing we don't pick the NFL because we don't have to worry about the Monday Night Football.
Yeah. All right, screw it. Falcons gonna lose.
Are they gonna choke it in devastating Falcons fashion? No, they're just gonna lose in general.
Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football? You kidding me?
Yeah.
Can't choke something you're not good at to begin with.
Turns out they made the wrong decision because Sam Darnold is good. So
crazy, man. It's unbelievable. Sam Darnold was right the whole time. It wasn't me.
Yeah, it
That's
turns out that Carolina is just bad, and so are the Jets.
unbelievable that they had two quarterbacks that are competent on their roster. Bryce Young needs to go to Tennessee.
And, all right. I'm going to stop it. So see everybody next